Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Pisces in October 2019. Hello, Pisces. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I always give like a little bit of a flair in my greeting to Pisces because you guys are my favorites, or you're some of my favorite people, I would have to say, in the zodiac. I've enjoyed every Pisces I've ever met. Well, I take that back. There was one guy, and I was just like, go away. Anyway, Pisces, I hope everything in your life is going well. As you can see, guys, if you were here for the end of September readings that I did for the elemental collectives, you'll see I'm back home. Bittersweet, coming back from vacation that I spent with my sister a week and a half away. It was amazing. I got to relax. That's all I ever wanted. That's all I ever want in a vacation, just to freaking relax. And I did, and it was great to reconnect with her. I mean, we talk every day, but, you know, it's different when you're face-to-face with a person, right? So I had an amazing vacation. Hopefully, if you were doing something similar in your life, or you're just living your day-to-day regular life, I hope it was just as amazing, if not better, all right? Pisces, let's get into it. I have shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle now on camera for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. If you want to see the timestamp, it's in the description box below. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you need clarification on what to expect from a reading, or if you want to clarify something else, feel free to email me at the exact same address, okay? And of course, guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on the video. It helps a girl grow around here. It's been wonderful progress this year. It's been amazing. I've met some wonderful people, and I want to keep that trend continuing. So if you want to help me out, make sure you do any and all of those things YouTube allows you to do, okay? And anything else? No. So let's get into it. Let's see Pisces outcome for October 2019. Please show me Pisces outcome for October 2019. Please show me. Whoa. Something fell to the floor, didn't it? My eyes were closed. Yes, it did. Okay. The Tao. Bottom of the deck will be your overall energy. Oh no! Not nice on the visual, but we'll see how it plays in contextually, okay? Let's flip everything that came face down for you. All right. Few repeating energies, because, you know, that's how this shit works. We're all on the same wave, but we're just on different heights or different, you know, lengths of the wave. But regardless, that's neither here nor there. Let's figure things out for you. Please show me where Pisces is in October 2019. Please show me Pisces in October 2019. Please show me. Okay, thank you. We got there. All right, pretty cool. At least that's what I think so far. We'll figure it out as I interact with this energy a little bit more. Pisces, coming into October, you come in with the Ace of Swords. Ooh. Pisces, who are you giving the business to? Or, if not giving the business, who are you like drawing firm boundaries with? This is very resolute energy. Ace of Swords, this feels very much, now that we got that cleared up, let me tell you another thing. It's like maybe recently you've had a falling out, or there was a dust up, or there was some kind of conflict that came into your life, or some type of drama, and maybe you had to be the referee, maybe you had to be the peacekeeper in the situation, or maybe you simply had to state, you know, your position, and then that clears the air, or that kind of sets the record straight. I feel like this is kind of like a set the record straight and or let's set up some boundaries here, because Pisces not about that bullshit. Also, you know, when we talk about the Ace of Swords, we can talk about truth and clarity. We talk about honesty. We talk about things, you know, in some cases, like, not grand ideas, but, you know, ideas for improvement, like things that, like problem solving. There you go, problem solving. And again, I said something about you guys like refereeing, right? And it feels very much, so far, Pisces, it feels very much, this is about interpersonal relationships, family, friends, lovers, co-workers, whatever it is. It feels as though things have gotten a little hectic in your relationships or in relationships around you. You might not even be like a central figure, but in order to avoid further conflict or nip something in the bud, you step in with the sword and you're like, cut this shit out. Let's not go that route, you know? So it feels very boss, not bossy, but boss, okay? Feels very much, like I said, resolute. And I really feel you embody this. And, you know, Pisces, I feel like I always tell you guys the same thing about yourselves, the same thing about Piscean qualities. A Pisces I've never met, and I would love to meet you if you exist. Go ahead and hit me up, because I would love to have a different set of characteristics I could talk about when it comes to Pisces. Even when a Pisces is in their like quote unquote nastiest form, their like most irate form, their most angry form, there's still like a bit of a gentleness behind it, or a bit of tender love and care behind it. You know, tough love from a Pisces is, you know, and don't make me tell you again. ... I'm gonna make some cookies. Do you want some cookies? You know, it always comes with like this after effect of, I know I was rough on you, and I apologize for that. But you realize, you know, it's like you always apologize for having to get rough with people. Again, that's a super big generalization. I'm pretty sure it has to be that there are some Pisces out there who would never apologize after putting the boot up somebody's ass, okay? So if you're that Pisces, shout it out in the comments, because I would love to know who you are. The Pisces that I know, and I know several, they are so nice. And I love them to death for it. Now, that's where you begin. You are really setting the record straight, putting up boundaries. You know, people aren't going to take you for a fool, or you might be coming to someone else's defense, and you might have to step in and say, hey, you know, don't speak that way to him, or don't speak that way to her, or, you know, there's no reason for you to do that. There's no reason for you to say these things. You know, you might be defending somebody, yeah? Now, what else is going on? Yes. Okay, so I feel like maybe that's quick. They're really like putting me here. Is that where we go? Yes, that's where we go. Okay. So I feel like somebody's coming back to a situation. Knight of Pentacles. Someone is traveling to and from an area, like back and forth, like a trucker or something like that, or something to do with work or something to do with school. They're in and out of a situation. They're in and out of a particular dynamic, or they're returning after a long time away. Knight of Pentacles energy, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. One of those signs might be significant, but they don't have to be. Is this the person you're defending? It might be that this is someone returning to your life or to a situation after having gone through maybe something not so nice, or maybe a trial or a tribulation, like a testing ground. Like they went and they did something that has encouraged them to grow in some way, or has taught them a lesson, or like this is coming across in a lot of ways. Like it feels like this person is a little bit in trouble, emotionally speaking, mentally speaking. And in an attempt to work on those problems, they've gone away. Or they go somewhere and then they come back on a regular basis. This could be like therapy or some type of rehabilitation, okay? This person is in and out of the main dynamic, which is mostly here on the board, and they go away seeking treatment, guidance, healing, counseling, whatever it is, for their issues. It's a slow progress. It is a Knight of Pentacles, so the time they might have like to spend like a weekend away at like, you know, a group home or something like that, or you know, whatever it is. It's something where either they go away and they stay for a short time and then they come back, or they go away on regular intervals, like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday they go here for rehab, or they go there to speak to their parole officer or some shit like that. This person is growing, is improving very slowly. And it's hard for them. They're very invested. You see how he carries that sack? You see how the sword is at his side? They're very careful. They're not wanting to, like, and the horse is very calm, right? They're not wanting to rush the situation. They're not wanting to mishandle anything. With the sword being by their side, they don't want to be chaotic. They don't want to be detrimental. Like, this person might have an understanding that they are their own worst enemy, or the only thing that's going to mess up their progress and mess up how they can improve is themselves. So this person is like learning a lot of life lessons. Like I said, they're growing and it's really earnest. It's very genuine, the intention from this person. You might be I don't know just yet if that's the person you're defending. I'm not sure. That might be the person you're giving the truths to. That I said setting boundaries. That might be the person you need to set boundaries with. I'm not sure yet. But what's happening is whatever they're doing, whatever program they're in, whatever counseling they're doing, rehab they're doing, it's working slowly. So slowly. And so I'm feeling like there's a bit of an anxiety from someone, either them, you, or someone else, that the timing of this is going to be a hiccup. It's not working. This anxious energy has the idea that it's not working. It won't last. It's too long of an investment. This person will tap out before they actually get what they need out of the situation. Something like that. I don't know if that's you. I don't know if that's them. I don't know if it's someone else. But that's an anxious feeling I'm needing to express at this moment. Now, what else is happening? The timing. Okay, thank you. So right beneath that Knight of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles. So, I mean, obviously, the main image there is that grandfather clock. So we have this idea of... And I don't know why, because time passes just the same speed on a grandfather clock as it does on your cell phone or your Fitbit or on any other device or object that tells time, right? The passage of time is just the same, but, you know, to indicate things are old or slow or just draining and dull, we often use the image of a grandfather clock, right? So, again, that hammers, especially since it's beneath the Knight of Pentacles, it indicates the slowness. It indicates how much of a paint drying type of endeavor this is, you know? But I feel it's worth it. I feel whoever that is, please encourage them to stick to the program. Now, the other part with the Six of Pentacles is about balance, reciprocity, things coming in equal measure as they are headed out in equal measure. So that again could signal into the in and out that I feel this person is doing. In and out of rehab or in and out of whatever program. And I'm no expert, clearly. I'm not a social worker or a psychologist or anything like that. So I don't know if that is a type of therapy, sort of like a revolving door kind of thing, where you do a week here in-house and then you go back out to your family and then you come back to us and then you go back to your family. Maybe you stay out for 2 weeks and then you come back for one more week and then you go back for maybe a weekend, but then, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's an actual therapy, but that is kind of what this feels like. Like, the coming and the going has to be done to the letter of what is prescribed or what the program designates, okay? But there is someone, I feel it. I feel where it is. It's right there. There is someone or some energy that is like impatient about that. Feels as if that's a waste of time. or it's ineffective. Someone challenges this idea that this roundabout energy, not roundabout, I'm sorry, round robin is more of it. A round robin kind of energy is actually going to benefit either this person directly or the entire group of people. Again, I'm feeling family, friends, maybe even work in some cases. Maybe this is like a business amongst friends or a business amongst family members, whatever. But basically, this is not about love. If you're here for love, Pisces, you might as well go. Because I don't feel... I mean, maybe it is. Maybe this is your romantic partner. Maybe. But it really feels like, in terms of friends and family, the impact of this person's progress has an effect on a larger group. Now, here is the detractor. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's just an energy that exists in several people, but we have the Queen of Wands. Fire sign energy, Gemini, I want to say Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, because I almost set it up here with the Knight of Pentacles, so I'm going to say Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That is not who the Queen of Wands is. Queen of Wands is a Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but that was twice I almost slipped up and said the air sign, so let's just open the whole kit and caboodle. Any sign. It's a general freaking reading anyway, guys, so don't pay too much attention to the signs in terms of their elemental associations. Now, Queen of Wands, very motherly. Could be the mother in the situation, could be the actual person who has given birth to you and or the Knight of Pentacles, I don't know. But look at it. Holding that candle, calling out to someone off screen or off the frame. Like, I'm feeling like a, guys, come on in, dinner's ready. Like that, you know, or like back in like the Old West where they would ring the dinner bell. You know, like whatever sound you make when you ring a dinner bell to tell people out in the farm, out in the field to come in and eat. Like, that's what this feels like. This person is very matronly. They don't have to be a female. They can be a male and still exhibit these characteristics. But this person is very matronly. They give a lot of care and support to their family and friends. I did use the analogy of a dinner bell, so they might be a great cook, or they might be somebody who provides some type of nourishment, either the physical nourishment or like a spiritual nourishment. They're a caretaker, basically. And it could be that because this person would have a lot of pride in that skill set of being able to take care of others, of being able to feed, clothe, nurture, nurse people back to health. It could be that this person in some way feels threatened that the Knight of Pentacles is doing their own type of journey towards healing and wellness that doesn't involve this person. Whereas maybe at some time previously in this dynamic, this person was in charge of taking care of that one. Again, like a mom. You know, and I'm not a mom, but I know moms go through this shit. Like, eventually when your kids grow up and they don't quote-unquote need you anymore, there's a bit of a loss. There's a bit of a mourning there, and you feel kind of useless. You know? Or you continue to overexert yourself, overextend yourself in that role, and you continue to quote-unquote baby your kids well into their adulthood. Which, you know, sometimes it's nice when your mom makes you a sandwich. Sometimes it's like, could you just leave my house? I don't want you to make me a sandwich. I want you to go home. You know, anyway. So this person, I feel, kind of feels put on the sideline. And they are therefore now a little dejected. Because what they're good at is no longer viable. It's no longer necessary. It's not being appreciated or valued. It's not being utilized. They're not able to act as the caretaker. And basically, they basically need to get a life. You know, I feel somewhere in here, this person has other things they could be busying themselves with, but they're not. They're spending so much time analyzing what's going on over here with the Knight of Pentacles, and they're journeying back and forth. And if it is the mother of the Knight of Pentacles, that would make sense. You know, I don't know any mother that stops caring about their kids, even if they are adults, even if they haven't lived at home for 20, 30 years, you know what I mean? So I'm not trying to say this mom or motherly figure or person who is a caretaker should give up on that person, but it certainly it's like this Queen of Wands has a bit of an ego bruise in the situation that doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't help the situation, that you're taking it personally, that this Knight of Pentacles has chosen another way of trying to better themselves, you know, clean themselves up, do whatever. Because it's not what you want, it's somehow incorrect. So this is where your Ace of Swords probably is chiming in here, Pisces, where maybe you're the other child of the Queen of Wands and you're therefore the sibling of the Knight of Pentacles. And maybe you're trying to tell your mom, listen, Mom, you know, Knight of Pentacles, they're doing fine. You're worrying too much, or, you know, your criticism is just like not helpful, and maybe you should just like take a step back. Like, let's draw some boundaries here. So again, it's that Piscean, like 1-2 jabberoo kind of feeling. It's like you're trying to be firm, but you're not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or step on anybody's toes. This person is also critical because they're facing the Six of Pentacles. They are critical of the timing of this person. Now, this Queen of Wands could also be a nurturer, but and a caretaker, but sort of be like Nurse Ratchet, right? Like, okay, you're in charge of taking care of other people, or you take pride in being a nurturing, caring person, but damn, you have no bedside manner, you're very rude, and you're actually counterproductive in your approach to the situation. So this person, again, I did mention it, but some are like really over the top with it, being super critical about how the Knight of Pentacles is going about this. In terms of the Six of Pentacles underneath it, they could be criticizing the money spent. Really? You're doing what? A counselor? How much? Oh, no. That is way too much money to go see a therapist. What do you mean? What do you mean? $150 or $200 for one session? Are you out of your... It's just like, why are you criticizing this if that works for the Knight of Pentacles? If they are able to afford it, if they've been, you know, someone else is providing that money for them, or whatever reason, if the money is in place and it doesn't cost, well, in some of the cases, maybe it does cost the Queen of Wands. You know, like I said, this Queen of Wands, many of them are bitter that they're not involved. Some are making themselves involved by saying, I volunteer my money for you to go to this program. The program starts 1 session, 2 sessions, 3 sessions, 4. And the progress is slow, like I said, with the Knight of Pentacles and whatever they're doing. It's slow progress, but it's working. This person, because they want to be involved, because they're kind of a micromanager, or, you know, just an overbearing person in general, they're like, okay, you've been going to this new doctor for the last 2 months, Knight of Pentacles. How do you feel? Well, I feel good, but I think I still need more sessions. Well, do you know how much this is costing me? This is costing me $200 a session. You've been, I don't know. I think maybe we should just give the whole thing up. And they suggest to give the whole thing up because they want to step in and become the caretaker again. I don't know that you even needed this therapy to begin with. I agreed, but now that I see what's going on, I'm not so sure. Broad, give me a break. Me, the tarot reader, maybe even Pisces, give the outsiders a break. You're doing that to manipulate the situation. You're doing that to remain in control of this Knight of Pentacles, or to be involved in their life. Not a fan of her. Not a fan of her. Or him. Again, it's a general. It doesn't have to be just a female because it's a queen. Now, that's what's going on over here. What else is happening here? So behind this, I think, it's interesting. I just did Aquarius, and I'm not overlapping your readings because you're having a totally different reading from them. But they had 4 cards that were telling a solo story or a contained story, and then they had 2 cards that were kind of giving more context to the situation. Only their 4 were here, and the context was here. Now yours is in reverse. That's more for me to note that I'm having a little bit of a break because I'm giving you a little anecdote about Jay's world of tarot reading. My mind works in symmetry all the time. And so this is now just a flip, a crossing, a mirror image of what I just did. And I find that to be fascinating. So these four together, they tell some primary foundational story. The bigger context here in these two cards, let's see. Yeah, man. So up here, and now that I see this entire line together, maybe I did say it for a few of you, or maybe I didn't. This whole standing up, drawing lines in the sand, or drawing up boundaries and coming to the defense of someone, it might be you come to your own defense, Pisces. You could be the Knight of Pentacles, okay? And if you are, you probably know that already. You know, I mean, you've gotten this far in the damn reading. If you didn't start to think, I think it could be me, you know, knock, 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 it might be you. Now, and the reason I say that is because we have the Four of Swords right above, or excuse me, right here on the far side of the reading on that same line. So this card has come up so much in October. Everybody's on a rest. Everybody's on a break. And that's definitely at play here. It might directly affect the Knight of Pentacles, who may or may not be external to you. But then it's also this time in rest and respite that we get with the Four of Swords might be where you are coming from with your truth and clarity with that Ace of Swords as well. Meaning you may be biting your tongue, or have up until this point bitten your tongue, kept your mouth shut, and tried to avoid conflict, try to avoid expressing yourself in this situation. You know, this Four of Swords is not a lot of communication. Not a lot of information coming or going from a person, okay? Could be you, could be the Knight of Pentacles, could be both of you, or you're one and the same. You know your story better than I do, okay? And they're showing me again, because I forget who I mentioned it for, but one of the things that's interesting here is this figure is nailing that coffin shut. So I think like I said, there was an attempt to really just mind your business and stay uninvolved. But Pisces, I feel that was then. This is now. And I don't read past and present and future. That's never my intention. Except for like in the birthday readings where I kind of read it. But I feel that this is kind of in the backdrop, what has been going on leading up to what we discussed in the four cards. So for however long, weeks, months, years, you just tried to get along with everybody. You didn't want to upset anyone. You didn't want to comment on the situation. Now the time has come for you to comment. Now the time has come for you to express your opinion or your concern or you know, share your observations. You're being overbearing, Queen of Wands. Knight of Pentacles, you know, maybe you need to do XYZ. You know, you have some bit of insight to share, okay? It is still on the line with the Knight of Pentacles, so that kind of, to me, just kind of reflects what this person is going through. Their endeavor, their slow endeavor, their slow journey towards bettering themselves, getting healthier, getting clearer, or clearing out whatever they need to clear out. It's coming from a place of, maybe not coming from a place, but it's certainly reflected back that there will be times of rest while that journey is ongoing, okay? Because if this is about rehab, and rehab doesn't have to be drugs. I've casually said rehab. If this is like about a physical injury, that's also rehab, right? And so this person may have, you know, broken their back, something like that, or had an incredible, you know, lost a limb, and now they have to learn how to walk again, right? They get a prosthetic or whatever they need. And so there are times where the body, because I'm really keyed into this being about the body due to we see that coffin, where the body just will not be able to put forth the effort, will not be able to bear the weight of this person. Or, you know, maybe it's an illness, and so maybe they have issues with appetite and keeping down foods or whatever it is. So there are going to be times where the body is completely checked out. For you, for them, for whoever. Okay? Anything else? No. Okay. Final card in your main spread, Pisces, is the High Priestess, Major Arcana for Cancer. sometimes associated with Pisces. So the context, because again, this is like a line of context, what's going on in the background, kind of what's the undercurrent of the situation. High Priestess says to me, there's a certain spiritual path, probably, that the Knight of Pentacles is on. And maybe you're also on it too, because again, I know I've said this in previous readings, and I don't know when, you can explore your Pisces playlist and give it a look-see. But I feel as though Pisces have had times over the past 2 years that I've had this channel, or excuse me, 1.5 years I've had this channel, where Pisces struggles, quote unquote, struggles to solidify themselves, identify clearly with who they are and why they are. Something like that. Because the High Priestess talks about an inner knowing, an instinct, not a hunch, but you could think of it that way sometimes. But just having this inner GPS or this inner, internal Google that just like randomly feeds you information. You know how when you go to Google, you got to type in what you're searching for, or if you have one of those little speaker units, you talk to Google and you say, hey, blah, blah, hey Google, let me see, my mind just went on. So that happens with your High Priestess. Your internal search engine is always running, and it feeds you, random tidbits, and you're suddenly waking up, or suddenly in the middle of your day, you're like, you have an insight. You have a sudden stroke of genius, so to speak. That is at play, or like I was mentioning just a second ago, that has been thematically at play for Pisces in and out of several readings throughout the 1.5 years I've had the channel, where I felt often Pisces was missing the mark when it came to following their own inner guidance. I think this card shows up here now underneath that Four of Swords to show that with you resting and or the Knight of Pentacles resting, that High Priestess feeds more information to your conscious mind, gives you more insight, gives you more confirmation of what your purpose is in this situation. I think it applies more heavily to the Knight of Pentacles because I feel whoever that person is, they are the one who's growing, healing, taking care of themselves. If it's you, again, you could be one and the same. That applies to you. You get it. For you, Pisces, if you're solely the person in the Ace of Swords, just here to keep the peace, be the referee, draw boundaries between, this person and that person, fine. I think maybe that could be a signal to who you're meant to be. Not a referee like a umpire or something like that, but a referee in the sense of like, perhaps for some of you, not all, your position as a pacifist is too much. Or your position as a pacifist has a particular time and place. Instinctually, through your intuition, you do this already, but I think the High Priestess would encourage you to be more conscious of when you do it and why you do it. Stepping up and speaking up for the someone who can't defend themselves, or somebody who needs a helping hand. I feel Pisces, naturally you do that, but I feel this High Priestess, while you're in a quiet time, in a quiet space, is trying to signal to, maybe like it needs to become your career. I did mention I'm not a social worker. Maybe you should be a social worker, Pisces. Does that make sense? Like maybe you work in auto mechanics, for God's sakes. Maybe you work retail, whatever it is. Maybe your career should be more in line with helping those who are disadvantaged. Does that make sense? There's something where both you and the Knight of Pentacles are being encouraged to do what is kind of unconscious to you. High Priestess also speaks to like the esoteric spaces, metaphysical spaces, the occult a little bit. Or, well, that's another way you could call it. So maybe you coming to this tarot reading, maybe this is the first reading yet that you've done or that you've watched. Maybe you've watched a few others. Maybe you're supposed to do this work, or you're supposed to practice this for yourself. A lot of people read tarot for themselves, you know, so maybe that's something you want to look into. Maybe meditation, or, you know, maybe even runes or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe that's tied into this person's therapy, getting into more spiritual things. Maybe part of their therapy session is to do yoga, and the Queen of Wands is like, yoga? I'm paying that bitch to... Wow. Sorry. This person is very critical. I'm paying that person $200 to put you into a tree pose? Are you serious? You know, this person is just like, ugh. But if it's healthy for the Knight of Pentacles and it's healthy for you, Pisces, I say continue to do it. But, you know, you don't have to, or this person doesn't have to support it. I don't know. Now, the outcome of this situation, 10 of Wands. So, burden. That's one of the traditional immediate meanings of the 10 of Wands is burden. I'm going to go ahead and support that and co-sign on that, because this is not over and done with. Based on what I said here about the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, slow. The recovery, the healing process, it will be slow. There's a chance that this person, the Knight of Pentacles, if we're talking about drugs or substances or anything like that, there is a chance that this person does a stint in rehab, but then they fall off the wagon. That would be a burden. Yeah? Or, if it's not about drugs or alcohol, or it's about someone finally conquering and really getting to a healthier place, it still would be a burden, because you have to live through it. You got to live through the critiques of the Queen of Wands. You got to live through maybe dropping this person off at their appointments every other day because they don't have a car, because they lost their car, because they have a gambling problem, whatever it is. Like, interacting with this entire situation is a burden, okay? The silver lining with the 10 of Wands, or any of the 10s, is that this is coming to an end. Meaning the burden is either going to be offloaded, or the burden, like paying the price of the burden, will be finally donezo. We're going to cross a finish line. We're going to cross a threshold, and things are going to be resolved, or things are going to be alleviated, okay? It's also a burden because, like everything I was just telling you with the High Priestess, some of you are not directly in any profession, or maybe your inclination to help and support people, it's taxing on you. And the realization that, or maybe not the taxing on you, but it hits you deeply. The High Priestess, she is a deep energy. You know, the subconscious, the underworld, that's very deep. The other worlds, or the outer worlds, whatever. You know, that's deep shit. Conceptually, as well as just how sometimes people can interact with that energy or tap into it, right? That, to me, might be a little scary for some of you. If you're not in this space, if you've never considered, maybe I am some type of healer. Maybe I am someone who would be great as a psychologist or a social worker or an advocate, or whatever you would hope to do, or not even hope to do, but what you might consider to do when it comes to being in service of others, right? I think for a few of you, not all, not even, half of you, there are some of you who hear that and it's like you dread it, because ultimately, Pisces do not run to conflict. But if you have come to a realization, or you're getting hits, you're getting clues, you're getting jolts of intuition that say, I would be really great at mediation. I would be really good at being someone's therapist. I would be really good at being such and such. That can be burdensome, because you see already how difficult it is to deal with this situation. And then to think about maybe making that career change, or maybe being more open to lending a helping hand going forward. As much as it is your natural inclination for many of you to do that, it also means you're going to endure a lot of drama. You're going to endure and witness a lot of trauma and volatility. That's not the makings of a joyful life. But Pisces, go ahead and Google yourself. Okay, go Google the traits and attributes of Pisces and or 12th house attributes, and you're going to see I don't even know if you're going to be able to hear everything that the Google unit over there, I think it's Google Home, yeah, Google Home over there said. But yeah, Pisces, those are, I believe what Google was saying was those were attributes for intuitive people. Maybe you're an intuitive person. Maybe you're a psychic. Maybe you're, a nurse to be. Whatever it is. There's a having to reconcile with the idea that some things in your life that are a burden now might continue to be a burden as you move forward, especially if you decide to make a career change. I'm not trying to advocate or dissuade you. I'm just saying that. And maybe it's like with anything, any job of service where you come to the aid of others, it can be very difficult. We glorify, as we should, and we put a lot of high praise behind, say, doctors or surgeons, right? When they save a patient's life, it's amazing. It's a heartwarming story. We look at them as like a plainclothes hero, right? That's wonderful. The other side, and the very true reality, is that not all patients survive a surgery. Not all patients that doctors treat will survive. As much as doctors can be seen as lifesavers, the occupational hazard is sometimes the life of a person cannot be saved. There's something here that's similar for you, Pisces. Maybe some of you are going to school to be a doctor. I don't know. But there's something here that says, as much as you're a helping hand and you feel good when you're successful at that job or successful in your endeavor, there are times where you trying to help a person, it won't work. And it'll be disappointing. And there'll be some kind of hurtful or disappointing outcome. Okay? I don't know if you're meant to be inspired by that or dissuaded by that. You're the receiver of the message. Regardless, it just equals burden. Okay? Your overall energy for October. 4 of Cups. So, I feel, as much as I feel you're still quite resolute with that Ace of Swords, and I'm going to tell you, Pisces, you're the first sign, if not the only sign, where I feel primarily you're here. The bulk of your energy is in that Ace of Swords. Maybe a little bit in the Knight, maybe a little bit in the 4, but the strong anchor point is here in the Ace of Swords. I like that for you. Now, not ironically, but interestingly, I suppose, this 4 of Cups, again, like, it's this feeling of you don't want to be the bad guy, or you don't want to muck things up. You don't want things to fail. You don't want people to fall out. You don't want people to be angry at you or angry at each other. No fighting. No disagreements. You don't like that energy. And it feels like something in the context, the bigger context, or the bigger dynamic across several people, like the interpersonal relationships that I was mentioning at the beginning. It's a little disappointing. Maybe you hurt the Queen of Wands' feelings. Maybe she takes offense to you taking up in support of the Knight of Pentacles. And so now you guys have a falling out. Or maybe the Knight of Pentacles appreciates you helping them, but kind of feels like maybe you overstepped a little bit by being so aggressive towards the Queen of Wands. Something like that. Stepping on people's toes. I feel like this is what this is about. Having stepped on people's toes, maybe you've said a thing or two that you regret, or maybe something was said to you that was really hurtful by either party, and now you're just like, I'm just trying to help, but, you know, I don't know if I did a good job. I don't know if me saying these things and, you know, showing my support for this person and kind of telling the other one to back off, I don't know that that was the right thing to do. And so you're kind of having regrets, okay? If that's not about you, this Four of Cups, then it would be about the Knight of Pentacles and or the Queen of Wands, where they're both, or one of them, if not both, one of them is very guilty about their involvement in the situation. If you're someone who is being paid for, your rehab is being paid for, your therapy is being paid for, if you're an able-bodied adult, or if you're somebody who used to have the means to take care of yourself, now other people are taking care of you, you could feel very much guilty. Oh man, if I had never done this, they wouldn't have to have paid for that. If I had been smart enough to do this, then I wouldn't be such a financial burden on them right now. You know, something like that. If it was the Queen of Wands who felt that way, especially if she's like the motherly figure or the matronly figure, male or female, again, it doesn't matter. They might feel that they've let down their own child. You know, again, I'm not a mother, but I can easily assume that if your child turns to drugs or your child ends up in a horrific accident and you weren't there to protect them, to guide them, to keep them on the straight and narrow, and they end up walking this dark path, or they end up in horrible circumstances where their life is shattered, you would feel guilty. You would feel like a piss poor parent, right? Now, as an overall energy, it is not about a result. I think that's sort of just like sprinkling or drizzling down in the background of this entire situation. Pisces, I think you've had a very realistic reading, neither good, neither bad. It's just kind of painting this very, very specific story, but hopefully you were able to peel some things out if it wasn't exactly your story. Anyway, guys, if you liked it, if you found something in this that you could resonate with, go ahead and hit the like button, and of course leave a comment down below letting me know how it did resonate in your life. You can share this video across your social media platforms, let other people know that you like watching stuff on my channel, or that there was a message in here of great importance to you. And of course, guys, if you're not subscribed already, make sure that you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell, so that way you're up to date on all the times that I upload to the channel. Pisces, I will be back in about 2-3 weeks doing the mid-October readings. I hope to see you then. You will also see me go live around that time. I'll be doing the birthday messages for Libra at that time, live on my channel using my very crappy laptop. If you want to drop by and sit in the chat or just say hi, you're welcome to do that. But it is specifically for Libra, so I just want everybody to have a heads up on that, okay? Anything else? No. So yeah, Pisces, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. Take care. Bye.